Hello, my name is John Brandenburg. I am with Forum One. Forum One is a digital services agency. We do all sorts of web development projects, a lot of Drupal, WordPress, and other systems. Today I just wanted to do a quick screencast of setting up the Web Starter package, which is a scaffolding tool we use to set up all our projects now. It provides configuration files for a few things, including a virtual machine, which you can use locally for development, and that manages your database, web server, all the tools you need, so you don't have to worry about it as a developer. Getting set up is pretty easy. I'm making a few assumptions that you have Vagrant installed. This is a tool for managing virtual machines, and then VirtualBox installed. You might have to play with the versions. The latest versions should work. With VirtualBox, just be sure you have the extension pack also installed. This is important. So to set up yourself on the generator, just follow these instructions. npm install g yo. This will install the Yeoman scaffolding tool. And I had already installed this before this video, so I know it's running pretty quick here. And then we're going to do npm install g generator web starter. And this should be pretty quick as well. And it does have an unmet peer dependency. I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm not sure if it's going to actually impact anything. We'll see. So let's just make a project directory for ourselves. Test project, cd test project. Okay, and just following the instructions in the generator, we just do yo web starter. Yo web starter. And it's going to present us with a series of prompts. We'll just do test project for project name. We could add a URL for a repository. This would integrate with continuous integration like Capistrano, but we don't have any right now. Ruby version 2, we'll just select the latest. Platform, so this is going to be a set of plugins we can select from. Drupal 7 is what we'll do right now. You can use the Forum 1 Gesso theme if you want. Capistrano would be done for continuous integration. We don't technically need it right now, but that's okay. Grunt is a task runner used to do things like compile Sass into CSS. VM, you only need one of these. Puppet is being deprecated in WebStarter, and we're moving towards using the Salt package. So I hope this unmet peer dependency doesn't interfere. We'll see. And we're back again to the platform. So we'll just hit enter. Wait for the next option. Drupal 5.6 is the latest version. We'll use the features module for configuration management. We will not use the configuration manual. Gesso would be the theme name, of course. Install a fresh copy of Drupal. Since we don't actually have Drupal installed yet here, we're just going to say yes. The capitalized letter would indicate the default option here, so we're not going with the default. Install a fresh copy of the Gesso theme, sure. Use Sass, yeah, sure. libsass is the newer tool we're using. Do we use Pattern Lab? Gesso does use Pattern Lab. We won't mess with installing that though. Deployment, again, we're not really dealing with that right now, but we'll just use rsync. Number of releases to keep. Version of PHP 5.6. It's not the latest, but you know, I know it's well tested in the web starter environment, so I'll just use that. MySQL 5.6 as well. It will create a database whose password, username, and name is all web within the virtual machine, so we'll just select that. It's going to create its configuration files, and then we have a project here. So what we can do here, let's just ls, look at what we've created. Now there is a bit of an assumption it's created a public directory. This is what contains our Drupal installation. This might vary between organizations. Some places use Docker, other places use web. We just use public. And there are some options. I forget what you had to select to use that, but this can be configured. With that said, there's a lot of legacy code in there that just kind of expects web to be used here, so you might just be better off using web for the moment. So here we're just going to do vagrant up. And this is going to run the vagrant installer. And this usually takes a while, so I'm just going to pause the video. One note, it will, oh no. It's because I have a project probably already running. So I'm just going to pause the video, halt my other vagrant machine, and bring this back. Welcome back. So yeah, I just halted the other virtual machine, and I went back to my test project directory and ran vagrant up. So right now, it's displaying on the terminal command line here what it's doing precisely. It is going through, it's forwarding the ports so you can access the website externally. It's booting the virtual machine. It's going to go through and start installing all sorts of packages, configuring the services, and basically do everything you need to do to have a running website where you don't have to worry about managing things like your PHP versions or your web server or your database or Solr search or a Varnish cache or or mem cache. All those things are just managed right here in the web starter package. So I'm just going to pause the recording and then resume once that's started. Hello again. Okay, so we've completed running our virtual machine installation. And if you go to your web browser and go to localhost 8081, you will be directed most likely to install.php to install your Drupal site. From here, if you know much about Drupal, you know how to install, and you should be good to go. I guess a few other interesting notes. If you look at your vagrant file, you can see what ports are being forwarded to where. So you can see different services. We're using 8081, which is actually hitting the web server directly. 8080 would be hitting Varnish, which is a reverse proxy cache. 8443 would be hitting any SSL. You can also go to vagrant.bf1.io, which should work in theory. Clearly, we don't see it finding the page, but it's hitting the site. At least it's hitting Varnish. So, and 8025, I believe, is Mailhog, so you can catch any mail leaving your site. And this should be all you really need to set up a virtual machine using the Form 1 web starter package. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm on Twitter or on this channel. Thanks. Bye.